Hi, my name is Chelsea Bashad, and this is my elevator speech to the TV series Chicago PD. Chicago PD follows the men and women of the Chicago Police Department. The show shows both patrol, but also the intelligent unit, mainly the intelligent unit of the Chicago Police Department. Sergeant Hank Voight runs the intelligence unit and is longtime friends with Desk Sergeant Trudy Platt, who works in the same building. His officers are Kim Burgess, Kevin Atwater, Adam Ruzick, and detectives Haley Upton and Jay Halstead. Every season of the Chicago PD is based on what is happening in the world today. For instance, this season, they are talking about police discrimination, racism, and COVID-19, and of course, police reform. The show takes place in Chicago, Illinois, USA, at the 21st Police District and on the streets of Chicago. In the first episode of the current season, called Fighting Ghosts, the Chicago Police Department and the Intelligence Unit deals with police reform and COVID-19. During the last season, Officer Atwater turned in a dirty cop, and after that, he was discriminated against because of his color. So far during this season and this episode, the discrimination is still happening. Atwater thinks he did the right thing, but some cops in the department think otherwise. Throughout the episode, Officer Atwater continues to double think what he's doing. They were working a case involving a young child in this episode, and Officer Atwater suggests that they not engage in physical altercations with the suspect because whoever did it is considering police brutality because of the suspect's color, and Atwater, in a way, was trying to protect them. Atwater tells Voight at the end, getting into a heated argument over the way the police confront suspects, and Voight tells him that he should look for another job since he wants to argue about how Voight runs his intelligence unit, which Voight hates. After shift was over, he headed home. He noticed he was being followed home and yells from his car, "If you're coming for me, it needs to end. I did nothing wrong." And 6 to 7 people approach him and end up attacking him at the end of the episode. He had no clue who did it, but he has a feeling it's the cops' buddies on the police force. And throughout this episode, it talks about discrimination and race. In the second episode of the season, the same thing. The intelligence unit is working a case that involves a highly respected alderman's son who is suspected of murder. The Sergeant Nolan ongoing harassment case against Atwater continues to escalate, and Ruzick ends up being wounded because patrol officers aren't responding to Atwater's request for backup during this episode. Atwater is dealt with facing losing his badge or dealing with or accepting a deal that would hinder his career, which he doesn't want to do either of those, and the discrimination just continues. In episode 8 of the season, Protect and Serve, they want the intelligence unit to protect and arrest a patrol officer who murdered a young African-American man at a routine traffic stop, and Atwater and Ruzick take him to a safe house, even though they both know that he's guilty, but they have to follow rules. And the officer thinks he was in the right and acting in self-defense. But after a video goes viral of the shooting at the traffic stop, they end up getting ambushed, where this officer ended up being murdered, and Atwater tries to help him, but it's too late. Social media plays a big role in this episode, that is for sure. All of the analysis are the same throughout the whole season so far. There's a lot of discrimination, and it doesn't matter what color you are. There's always good and bad people, good and bad cops, and that's one thing that Chicago PD as a show is trying to show the world these days, that it's out there.